No filters, no limits, just fearless creators changing the game. Unmasked series, the revolution is personal. Lady Choc, welcome to Unmasked.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. First of all, I'm so excited having you here because for the past 2-3 months we've been having this conversation.
Yeah.
And
Since last year.
Since last year. When was it? November?
I think so, yeah.
Was November? No.
November. Even earlier, isn't it earlier?
Could have been October. But I'll tell you why I'm so excited was because I think besides how I know you personally, you have such an interesting ear for music, just for just generally just knowing what the audience wants. Where does your love for music come from?
Yeah.
I
was actually expecting that question because I remember I was having a conversation with a friend recently how not to offend anyone, but everyone has like a jazz history. You know, like my dad used to listen to jazz, my mom used to listen to jazz, and that's how I love music. Well, on the other side, I took a lot of music from listening to classics.
Okay.
Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin, you know. My father was like an intellect. So he used to listen to classic music a lot. But nonetheless, we have like a music gene in the family. I have an uncle in Lesotho who used to perform as well. Hatlane, he's late. May his soul rest in peace. And my aunt as well, who was part of Imilonji Gantu, the choir. She's also late. So yeah, I mean, I think music in Black people is a thing, but for me, I don't know, it just came naturally. Because even in like varsity, I used to listen to like your 5FM, your 702. I used to love Coldplay. People don't believe it. Like I used to listen to a lot.
There's nothing wrong with Coldplay. Yeah.
So I'd say it comes naturally for me. I don't want to lie. I've experienced all types of music at all stages of my life.
Yeah. Talk about you've been dwelling a lot on your family here. Why are they so important in your journey?
Yeah. You know, there's so many things that happen in the world. I mean, you always need support. I don't want to lie, the entertainment industry is hectic. But you need support. You need a place of refuge, like emotionally and mentally as well. And as the saying goes, you always get it where, you know, where you come from. You get it from family, you know, where you grew up, a familiar space, a safe space. So yeah, family is always important to me. I mean, I have people don't know this, but I have lost both my parents. But the family that I'm left with is always there for me. It's always there for me. So
they serve as a sounding board at some point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And most of the time, that's where I get my inspiration.
They call you out.
Yeah.
They call you out. Before I get into DJing, how do you get into this? How do you get into this journey?
Yeah.
You've expressed your love for classical music. You've expressed your love for alternative music like rock and pop music from 947 to 702. How did you go from point A of loving music to point B into exploring the idea of being a DJ?
Yeah. So the DJing journey as well, it started a long time ago. The first time I DJ'd was with Virtual DJ. I don't know if you know it. It's like a program on a laptop.
Yeah. It's the cheat code.
Yeah, back then, like when people don't have money for equipment.
Absolutely.
That's when I started. I think I'd say around 2007, 8.
Okay.
Already the music thing was in my life. I didn't really decide to get into it. It just came to me. All right. So what happened is that my cousin, who's basically like my brother, Khutazo, used to have a lot of music. He used to collect a lot of house music. So we'd use each other's laptops. So when I used to school in Cape Town, when I came back to Joburg, we used to take that laptop, use Virtual DJ and play music. That's when I'd say that DJing thing started. Like we used to use a laptop to play music for other people. Like back then, people used to have a party, got just virtual DJ. You didn't need like the CDJ 100 or something.
Were you playing his music or was it your music already?
It was his music at first, yeah.
Well, this is like house music.
House music.
So your Fresh House Flavors, your Skeeto Church Grooves.
Bona Blue 6 even. Yeah. Everything was there. And yeah, we used to, and then there was a friend as well, Neo, who used to share with us house music as well. So then we'd use all of that music, virtual DJ, and then just play for people like Boma Party. There was a point where we even got invited to a wedding to play a virtual DJ, imagine. DJ, your laptop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's when the transition from just loving music to actually starting DJ started.
Yeah.
And then the bugs stung. I just continued from there on.
So that's what I want to get into. The leap of faith from loving music and playing music to actually learning the craft of DJing.
Correct.
How does that come about?
Now, from using the laptop, I then start, there was a friend called Protea North, because I grew up in Protea, Karabo. He had now equipment. So now we're moving from laptop to equipment. So he was like, no man, let me teach you how to DJ. Well, let's play music. They used to play house music, but I didn't see what DJ already. Yeah. And then I was like, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I was done with high school. I was in varsity, so why not take an extra lesson, you know? And then we used my garage. We used to play house music. And then because then I was getting disturbed, I wasn't consistent because then I'd have to leave and go to school, varsity in Cape Town. So obviously I wouldn't be consistent in Gauteng, and then I'd go to Cape Town, take a long break, then come back, Kibona Karabo, would play music. So it wasn't really that consistent.
Absolutely.
It got to a point where luckily I met another gent, Dumi. He also DJ'd. I was like, man, I DJ go high, but I haven't done gigs.
Also from Protea North?
No, now he's from another province. We're all in Cape Town. And then we used this equipment. I kept on practicing. I don't know. I just loved it. I don't want to lie. I just loved it. I enjoyed the whole music, transition, compiling, making people dance. And guess what? Cape Town is where I got my first gigs.
Cape Town?
Cape Town. While I was in varsity. That's where I got my first gigs.
Tell me the difference, because I actually didn't know about this, but tell me the difference between DJing in Cape Town and DJing here in Joburg. Do you feel like the culture in Cape Town, them receiving music, is somewhat different to Joburg, for instance?
Correct. So back then, I'd say because I had the pleasure of playing mostly for like African listeners, but obviously the white listeners would also be there. But back then, there wasn't too much of a difference. But now I can tell you there is. Like the culture is also different, but house music is the house music that they love and the house music that we love, most importantly, or maybe it's the genre that I play or that I'm exposed to, is kind of different, you know. It's more deep, that side, more dub. This side, we love a lot more soul, you know. It's doesn't mean that you can't play it that side. You still can, they'll enjoy it. But yeah, that's where the culture differentiates. But back then, there was no difference. Like I would get to, there was a club I used to play at, go Western Cape, Kiprupa.
Brupa.
Brupa, BRU. I think it got close.
Brew, like also like my brew.
Yeah, like my brew. It's a brew.
Yeah.
I remember there was 5 girls. We got there, and it was predominantly like Koka, Siman, you know? And we played Afro, tribal, deep. 5 girls, it was 5 girls. Deep, soulful, Nediwa. They loved everything, you know? It was the same. I'd say back then, no Twana all over. But this now, I think it depends. You have to read the crowd. You have to know the crowd. I mean, you get to, obviously, Limpopo, you have to know the kind of genre that's dominating. You have to get to the Western Cape.
So like the compo sound.
Yes, the dominating sound.
Yeah.
And like you said before, you have to know how to read the crowd.
Yeah. I want to go travel back from Cape Town to Joburg, and I think we both know there's one thing. You spoke about Protea North, but generally I think the Joburg DJing scene is extremely competitive.
Very.
You know what I mean? And I'm at a point where I don't want to be like, oh no, it's just about the girls, about the guys.
Yeah.
It's a playing ball right now.
DJ now.
Do you know what I mean? And there's certain places that we both like exploring. The number of talent is amazing. How do you distinguish yourself? I mean, there has to be what makes you stand out as Lady Choc? Why should the audience look forward to your set?
Correct.
Yeah.
You're number one, yeah. There's a lot of talent.
Yeah, there's a plethora now.
And I'm not talking about females. Like, sometimes I listen to certain sets and I'm like, like 50% of that set is music I could have played.
Yeah.
How do I make sure I get to a venue, even if not that I would get there late, 15 minutes late, and I haven't heard anyone, but I make sure that my set stands out. I prepare, Karabo, I prepare. I visualize myself as the person on the dance floor. And I was like, if I were to listen to myself, how do I want to make myself feel? How do I want to say, Ish, Lady Choc, I'm not, even if there was like a big DJ from like Ibiza or something like that. But how will I make sure that Lady Choc's the one that stood out? I want to make myself feel like I prepare for myself as if though I'm on the dance floor. So soulful, definitely vocals, and how I build a story from the first track to the last one. I want people to relate to listen to music that they know already, but they haven't heard in a long time. Music that evokes memories. I think you'll see on my TikTok page, I do a lot of classics. Music that evokes memories, and those are the types of tracks that will make you memorable sometimes. Not that all of them are old. Some of them are recent, but they're popular. And I try to, merge them into my sets as well.
It's interesting you say that, because every time you have a conversation with a DJ who's pretty much established as you are now, it's more about, I look for music people haven't heard yet. And that music, as a result, changes the way they listen, the way they feel. But you, on the other hand, is I give music more or less that has a nostalgic feeling.
Yes.
And also gives a story at the same time.
Correct.
How difficult is that?
Yeah, it is, because it definitely needs preparation.
Yeah.
It requires preparation. You must remember, the house music scene is not... It's a very big like genre. House is a very big genre globally, right? Currently in South Africa, we are sort of like trying to re-establish ourselves, if I can say that, because piano is obviously here, and we've always been like here. We just need to get back there, you know. And we can do that by also pushing new music. So I'm trying to merge that with, obviously, old music or nostalgic music, if I can say that, So it's very difficult, because you have to remember, I personally have to remember songs that used to make me feel really good. It could take me a week to prepare. Like, I could be booked for an event that I'm playing in April. I'm already starting to plan for it now. And I'm going to imagine 3 instances. If I'm playing first, if I'm playing in the middle, or if I'm playing last, the closing set. I'm going to consider all 3 instances. It's hard. I have to plan and prepare. And that's where I get my confidence from. It's not easy, especially if I want to make sure that set will be remembered when I'm done.
Talking about timelines, you spoke about starting in the middle and in the ending. More often than not, you find DJs will start a set, but the set sounds like they're closing.
Yes.
Or they are finishing their set, but in the same breath, it sounds like they're starting. Do you know what I mean? How important is that? How important is that for you?
It is important.
Yeah, because we've kind of dwelled on the importance of understanding the audience. But in terms of knowing, hey, my set is at 1:00. My set 1:00 in the morning, per se.
Yeah.
That's how important is that for you? Like, this is like the time I'm coming into it.
Yeah. It's very important, and it should be for every DJ, you know, because energies build up. I mean, we've been at like places,
same
together.
places, yeah.
Energies are building up, and you just need to know that it comes with experience. But as a starting DJ as well, I think it's something that you should already know, that a certain energy at a certain time is not a certain energy at a certain time.
Yeah.
I'll make an example. Honali, this other party at Pretoria, I don't know if I can mention, it's a 24-hour party. So you can imagine, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Honali muto dlalang
I hope my camera crew is nodding their head because that's a Pitori. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they know him very well. Ho na le ho tlo ba le motho o tlo dlalang ka 11 a.m. for example.
Absolutely.
Where are people at 11 a.m.? If people are there, you have to make sure that you're matching their energy. So it's really important. I think it's part of preparation. How you buy your songs to prepare for your set is exactly how you should prepare what time you're playing.
Absolutely.
So you should know. Like, that's why I've also seen a dispute of a DJ who got their time slot very late. And they're like, no, but you booked me. You can't give me a time slot. And sometimes it happens. As a DJ, you'll experience it. Now, going about for time slot like hours before you're about to play on the day, you know. But with experience, you will know music, you know. So it's really, really important. It's extremely important. You know how to prepare for your time slot.
Time management too.
Time management as well.
People get that wrong.
Most people get that wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially I wouldn't say DJs per se, but that's more or less the time thing. I know I don't want to get into because I mean we've been talking about DJs for quite a while now, but I want to make a distinction between now when you're talking about female DJs. And what you did interesting last year, you had the Bottomless Delight event. Yes. And I'll tell you why this is very important. Because it's not only an event that focused on women, but it was also the time period, it was during Women's Month.
Correct, yes.
And, you know, you're not the first nor the last to have an event that focuses on women. But why was Bottomless Delight? Why was it introduced? And do you think you'll ever do something like that again? Because I think that is something that needs to be dwelled on at least once every 6 months or once a year. Why was Bottomless Delights so important to you?
Yeah. So the purpose behind Bottomless Delights was to obviously push the brand. Choc Delight, #Choc Delight.
Okay, so it's selfish nonetheless.
Not really.
Selfish. Yeah.
First, it was to work on the brand.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I believe women have a lot to offer. In every industry, we have a lot to offer. So I wanted to focus on a platform that pushes that gives an opportunity for that, you know. It was also established to obviously have a safe space for women. I think I even had like a proposal where I wrote the vision for the whole movement, and I wanted it to be about uplifting women, but everyone as well, not specifically women, but everyone as well. It was organized to have like people who've made it in the industry, who've succeeded in the industry, to come and have like sit down talks and share their experiences with women as well. So it was more of like a platform to educate, you know, inspire and motivate as well, you know. It was a month before my birthday, so it was not specifically influenced by my birthday. But ideally, I would have loved to have something like that more than once in a year, because we only focus on women like once in a year in August, Bogota month. We only focused on them once in a year. And ideally, I would have loved it to be more than once, because I remember I even partnered with a couple of brands. There was a lady who was giving me her products to share with customers as well. So it was to empower as well, you know. So I do things like that to give back as well. I don't get time because I'm constantly, you know,
on the road,
playing on the road. But all of us, I know deep down, all of us want to give back. So Bottomless Delight was actually planned to give back as well, something different, you know, because we're always like partying, drinking mimosas, having fun, which is cute. But also there must be something that is beneficial and positive as well. So
will we see it again?
Most certainly, definitely. There's already a project that I'm working on that I teamed up with other ladies, which actually relieves the load for me. But a Choc Delight movement as well is definitely going to be coming up in 2026. There's a lot of projects that I'm working on. So I'm trying to obviously, you know, work on my time management so I can execute all of them properly.
Do you think female DJs today especially empower one another, or do you still think there's like a sense of competition, like, hey man, every man for himself?
Nah, not personally, Shem. I feel like we really push each other ahead.
Yeah.
Like I would see Lokhive's post about her work. I would
Shout out to
repost it.
Lokhive, by the way.
I love
She's
her.
such an amazing DJ.
Yo,
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
I would see my friends, Bo Nana, Bo Fusi, you know. I will definitely share their work. I will reshare their work. Personally, on a personal experience, from a personal experience, I feel like Rasapotan, and they would do the same for me as well, you know. I don't know about other provinces and other areas, but now in this day and age in 2026, I feel like women are really pushing each other, and we are going to start now collaborating, because I see it happen a lot. We're starting to collaborate and work together, team up to obviously deliver like guys do. Guys still have a very strong place in the industry.
I think guys do, but I get the sense that we don't, and that's what I hate, actually. I mean, not just like DJing, but just generally, I think guys just generally don't unite as much as we should do. It's become very individualistic at that point.
Yeah.
And maybe the reason why female DJs have amplified, not just in number, but just also just in presence in social media, it's because, like you're saying, is sharing their work. Do you know? And I think, I mean, shout out to you. I mean, that's extremely important. And I don't know why now when I think about why the male DJs don't do that. However, they still do have a strong presence.
They do.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Across many industries. Yeah. That's important. You talking about industries, you have a very not just DJing at events, you also DJ on radio stations. Why is it so important for you to be on traditional media platforms like Radio 2000s and for instance?
Yeah. Exposure.
Yeah.
Exposure. I once had a conversation with my friends, I think it was a while back, regarding being present. Guys, let's be honest, we need to innovate. We need to move at the times. Technology is where business is at the moment, right? So it's for exposure. I could be so good. I could be better than Lady Choc even. But if I don't want to reach people, then how do I expect to share my talent with people, you know? And it started there. For me to get to radio, I didn't take a jump. For me to actually get called on radio stations, because I was active on social media. I was posting my work. I tried. I didn't have a big budget. I mean, I used a phone. Use your cell phone. Push yourself doing mixes. If you have 50 ranta extra, if you get paid for your booking, save some of it and maybe hire like a photographer. How DJ or recorder, you know, and then maybe you can share that. Show people what you can do. You might not be perfect, but at least they can say, okay, she listens to this genre of music. We can use it for this. You know, she listens to this. We can use it for this. She can do this. She's versatile. She plays well. She mixes well. We can use it for this. I grabbed that opportunity to try and market myself, so that then the radio stations are like, oh man, Honan Mutubi sang Lady Choc. They reached out to me via my DM. Some of them get through contacts. They're like, no, we want you to come play on radio. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And the other thing I used to do, I used to record mixes. That doesn't require a lot of budget. People need to understand this. Like sometimes you just need a phone, record yourself for an hour, post it on YouTube, and have people enjoy your sets for an hour, and then they know what you do, and they know what kind of genre and what kind of brand you are, and then that's when they reach out to you, you know. So some things don't really need money. I got to play on radio stations because I really worked on like marketing myself first, and then they called me, and then that's where the major exposure was.
In hindsight, networking is also a big deal for you.
It definitely is.
How far do you go? Is this just like across DMs, or while you're having your DJ set, do you find the need that, hey, listen, this guy is the program manager of whatever radio station? Why is that? Do you go out your way and doing that? Say, listen, this is what I do.
Yeah. And I think big brands also do it. It's not just like growing brands. You have to invest in networking. So this is something that most DJs do nowadays, right? Even if you're not playing. So let me say, I'll make an example, a Deep Soul Sensation event or a Breakfast Soul event. I'm not playing, but I need to support. Number one, for now, if I am not playing and I'm at a gig, you better know that I'm there to listen to new music. I'm trying to fish for music. Number two, I will definitely meet, most likely, 80% of the chance, I will meet someone who will say, man, what's king? I want you to come play. 80% of the chance that is going to happen.
80% of the chance because of you networking with that person.
Networking with that person, yeah.
Yeah.
Or 80% of the chance a friend will say, man, honales mangmang wako 5FM. I want you to introduce you to them. You know? And then when they introduce you, guess what? That's a booking. You know? So 80% of the chance you're at a place you're not playing necessarily, you're going to get a booking. All right? Number one, the networking helps there. And yeah, just constantly communicating with people. I don't necessarily do it via DMs, but yeah, it's usually a recommendation. Like when someone says, "Smangmang watseba gawe na marana contact down." So yeah, they want to book you. Maybe it's because they saw us via association.
I just want to stick to the topic around marketing in terms of brand alignment. Actually, marketing yourself. But where do you draw the line? Where do you be like, listen, this guy has the platform. That person has the platform. But that platform necessarily wouldn't work well for me. When do you know that when do you know that I can't work with this brand? I can't work with this platform because it could be detriment to my brand.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you asked that question because I thought at some point it's going to happen where I have to decline a deal.
Oh, so you haven't been in that space yet?
Luckily for me, I haven't.
Yeah.
Let me think. No, I haven't actually. Hey, been approached by a corporation or a movement where I actually said no. Yeah, but I know definitely I have a criteria.
Yeah.
I have a criteria. There's certain things that I definitely wouldn't align myself with. I'll make an example. Ne? I did a brand influence campaign. It was for an alcohol brand, right? But what I loved about it is that they also mentioned, you don't have to be in an alcoholic place, like bash or whatever. Like it had rules. Like you don't have to show yourself drinking. Alcohol is not a bad thing. Obviously, if you consume it responsibly. But those are the type of things that I'd obviously say no to.
Yeah.
Where I know it's something that I don't do myself already.
Sure.
But I'm going to put myself in that position.
Yeah.
Should we, like, maybe we partner or we do a campaign, no one. So if I don't do it myself already and you're asking me to do it for you, then I definitely say no. You know, there are brands that I've partnered with already. I'm sure people know. There's a reason why I've partnered with them. It's because of their work ethic. So I think that's the other thing that I do. I look at the work ethic, and if it aligns with who I am, then we definitely work together. But if it doesn't, then
You're on the road quite a lot. I imagine every weekend. And there's one thing you do really well is stay fit. And your fitness journey is really inspirational. Yes, she looks good. We all know. You look good. However, why is it so important why is it important to stay fit, especially in this industry? You dwell on the idea that, you have to stay fit. Why is it so important for you to stay fit, especially in the industry that you're in?
Yeah. Actually, in every industry, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't have experience in other industries, but particularly this one, mental health and physical health.
I like that. Yeah.
Will really boost your energy. They will literally boost your energy. If you have to be awake early every day, Friday to Monday, you need something that'll complement that.
Yeah.
Physical health, I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
And every time I work out, and I don't do it specifically just to look good, but number one, it's therapeutic, and number two, it's energizing. Like every time I sweat, I boost like oxygen in my body to my brain. It helps me think better. It helps me, go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like I have fatigue, but it helps me go the extra mile. It helps with my preparations as well. And all of those things literally boost my confidence because I'm easily prepared. I'm prepared. So like I could push the 4 hours for 3 days, like 4 hours of sleep for 3 days. And the fatigue will not have an impact on me. So
ever.
Not ever. Maybe it will. But
time,
sometimes I'll already read
3 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we take energy drinks just to, you know, help us. But I don't want to lie, mental health and physical health really take you far, especially most of them who are busy, like you're constantly on the road. Now I make sure, and you know, it's quite weird because busy, but you have to make time to work out because it's going to help you stay busy, you know. Some of my friends are like, ish, I can go, but I was like, I used to think like that, you know, but husabele nako and not working out.
There's time within time.
There is time within time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a downward spiral. You don't have time. You're constantly doing everything. You're not working out. You're going to stay fatigued. You're going to get depressed. You don't have energy. You're going to have a low. You're going to stay low, you know. So that working out, make time, even if it's like an hour, make time so that it can bring you back.
And have a structure, of course.
And have a structure, yeah. Just make time. Time management.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Lady Choc is out of the building. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karabo.
Thank you
Thank you for not making me laugh.
Yeah, I'll make you laugh now. Thank you so much. It's such a blessing, and I think you've got such an amazing journey.
I appreciate it.
It's nothing but blessings, man.
You're
clearly doing something right, and you're an inspiration to many. So thanks, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you for calling me. This is actually, it was actually a lovely interview.
You're not taking the couch.
Yeah,
no, Lady Choc. That's Choc. Everybody, thank you. Thank you to Lady Choc.